All right, can you guys hear us now? Can you hear us now? Hello, hello. There you go. It looks like you guys can hear us.
All right.
All right. Perfect. All right. So, in case you missed it all, this is Ryan. I'm Luke. This is our booze, and we're gonna get a little tipsy and share some real estate stories and some drinking stories. And if you guys have questions, please respond in the chat box, and we will share whatever you have. I know Marie's got some questions for us probably today. Ryan is well, you're wholesaling now.
Wholesaling.
Well, actually, you know what? Hang on, bud. Cheers.
We're gonna start it off right.
You can't set it down after you cheers. You got it.
You don't do the bump?
I don't bump, but as long as you don't, you're okay. So.
Yep. That's really good.
It's
got a little kick to it at the end.
It's
nostrils?
It's not licoricey. I'm trying to think of the texture. It's not velvety, but it's.
Yeah, it's not like a scotch, right?
Right.
With that velvet.
It's not bad.
I like it. Great pick.
Yeah.
Whoever recommended it. Yeah, right.
Cheers. So guys, yes, please, if you are at home in a safe environment, you are encouraged to drink along with us, and feel free to put in the comments what you're drinking, and we will cheers to you as well. I know some of you guys might be Jack Daniels or a cup of tea, and that's all good, as long as we're having fun and sharing some information. And I might be coughing through the allergy season that we have right now, just so you know.
Have you guys had the wind out here?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, it's brutal the last 2 days. You didn't have it flying in?
It wasn't too bad flying in, but I mean, in Phoenix the last 2 days, it's been, gusts of 40 miles an hour.
Yep.
I just try to stay inside. Automatically change all the air filters.
We don't have gusts of 40 miles an hour. We just have straight 40 miles an hour that doesn't stop for a couple hours.
That's not fun.
Yeah, I was pulling pool or patio furniture cushions out of my pool the last few days, and my patio furniture seriously was like 30 feet away from where it originally was set up. It just blows it.
I saw
crazy.
something on the news this morning talking Gilbert, because they get all the storms way worse than we do in Phoenix. But it was a trampoline. Went out and landed in like a neighbor's yard. And
free trampoline, gotta love it.
Right?
Finders keepers. That's what I say. Okay, Ryan. So to keep people engaged, I want you to give a little bit of your background in real estate.
Mm-hmm. So, my background started off wholesaling. We got into some flipping. My buddy, it's like my best friend from high school. We kind of teamed up and we started doing it and started doing some flips, and it was going well. We were lucky enough, I'm 30, so we were lucky enough that when we got into it, it was kind of post-crash, right when everything of like, you couldn't buy a bad deal.
Yep.
Like the appreciation saved you no matter what.
Couldn't make a mistake.
So we were very fortunate with that, and we kind of ran off and did that. Did a lot of flips, got into some higher end flips, and started doing some of the really higher end stuff in Paradise Valley. For those of you who don't know as well, I live in Scottsdale, Arizona. So we started doing some Paradise Valley stuff, and then we actually rolled that into new build construction and development. We started doing some infill development plays.
I am listening. I am just doing some.
He's got some more stuff. Started doing some infill development plays. We did 20 single-family attached units in kind of central Phoenix area.
Were they single-family or row townhome?
So single-family attached. So basically, yeah, you got that 1-inch air gap between everything, so you can go to single-family financing and whatnot. But from the exterior, they look like they're all attached. And did some, just I think it was like 6 doors of just single-family detached homes. And then we slowed down a little bit, and I was spearheading all of the acquisitions for our team.
So this was, by now we're talking 13, 14?
Yeah. Yep. So I started spearheading all the acquisitions for our team. Things started to slow down a little bit, and my partners, which again, one of my best friends from high school, pulled me aside and was like, hey, we're not going to be buying anything anymore. We're going to put you more to a controller position, and we'll just have you kind of spearhead that. And I was like, all right, cool. And then pulled me aside, and a couple months later, I was like, you're the world's most expensive controller. What do you think about, taking a buyout and kind of moving off and riding off in the sunset? We went back and forth and finally kind of got on some terms that made sense for everyone. did that, went to San Diego, did the whole realtor thing of being like, you know what, like I'm gonna get my real estate license. I know real estate like the back of my hand. Let's just go for it. Oh, was I shocked. Being a real estate agent was the hardest thing I've ever done. Like, if
we have any realtors listening in, go ahead and chime in.
Man, it was the hardest thing I've ever done. Like, just work-wise or anything. I mean, just that sales grind and doing it. And so kind of just hung out in San Diego for a little bit. Came back with my buddy that I met through the entrepreneur organization. We founded kind of just a startup company. And that idea was basically we were going to put all the money for homeowners to kind of flip your own house and then sell it through our brokerage. Yep. We missed the mark on that for sure, to put it politely. You know, but hey, you got to swing the bat. You know.
Yeah. Not every venture is a success.
Exactly. And then got hooked up with Megan and Stephen of the Investor Hub, and it was just the absolute perfect fit. You know, they had the footprint of something that was bigger than anything that I could start at that time, and it was just great and kind of it just meshed really well. And so now I've been at Investor Hub for about 8 months. I think my time there in 8 months, I've moved. I think I've eclipsed 100 deals so far. Yeah, it's been great. Get to meet great people like yourself, and
thank you. And I get to meet people like you.
Yeah.
So the Investor Hub, for you guys who don't know, it's a I don't want to say I want to say medium-sized wholesale group, and that means that it's not just 1 or 2 man shop, but it's not a group of like 20 people, a huge call center, all that kind of stuff. You guys have like a core of 8 or 9 of you, right?
So we've got, let's see here. I mean, we're probably around like 13, 14.
For the Phoenix office.
Yeah, Phoenix is our biggest office. That's our headquarters. We've got a full in-house mail center there. So we're printing all of our own mail and sending out all of our own mail.
When you say that, I always think of the scene in the Goonies, where if anybody's old enough to know the Goonies, hopefully you do, where they go down to the Fratelli's, to the restaurant, and underneath is the printing press for the money.
Mm-hmm.
$50 bill? Right. Or 20 or $100.
I wish we printed $50 bills.
And I just figure you guys in the basement printing out your letters over and over and over. Because you guys do a lot of mailing. That's where you get a lot of your leads from, is your mail system and the process you go through on that.
Mm-hmm.
So I always picture that when I hear that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you're based out of Phoenix is the primary office, which I've been to, and it's beautiful, and it's great hanging out with you guys. And you're also active in Vegas and in Denver, and you were going to open up?
We haven't done it yet.
Okay.
We got some things in the pipeline now.
Maybe on round 2.
Yeah, right.
But no, you guys get a lot of deals. I've probably bought 30 from you guys over the last couple of years. I don't know.
That.
Is it?
I looked before we came on. I did a little prep.
Yeah, I bought a decent amount from you guys.
Yeah, no, great amount.
And you know what I like about working with you guys is that, I mean, you know us and you know me and then my partner Tony and our experience. So we can easily have a conversation about these deals that you're bringing over. And if you're not moving something, you're like, hey, what's the inside scoop on this one? Like, why isn't that price right or whatever it is? I'm just reading one of the comments. Matt, because this is sips and flips, I'm gonna respond to your. Is that a blue bottle of Patron? No, this is actually. If I'm at a restaurant and they just have regular old tequila, because I'm a tequila guy, this is Casa Noble tequila, which is made with 100%. It used to be made with 100% Weber blue agave tequila, or blue agave, 100% Weber blue agave. There we go. But it's actually an amazing tequila. Casa Noble is the brand. So it's very similar bottle shape to Patron. Yeah, I've got probably 8 different tequilas on my shelves, and some whiskey and some bourbon and some Rieslings from 1980 or 70 or something that we got out of a house. And
oh, really?
Oh, yeah. I've got some bottles from the 50s.
You find some pretty cool stuff in the houses.
Well, most of the stuff is from houses.
Oh, you have the whole back wall?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So all of my cameras, typewriters, souvenirs from different places. 8 tracks and luggage and all kinds of cool stuff. It's amazing what we find, and also you find money in these houses, which I guess I've bought more than 30 from you guys. I actually I bought one from you guys yesterday. I buy one from you guys on Monday. Now, for those of you who know me, I'm a giver. If you've been out to any of my parties here in town, which you have,
they're a lot of fun. I fly in just
Yeah.
for the Luke Weber party. So if you haven't gone, like, and you live here, you need to come.
yeah. So those are always posted on Facebook and Instagram when we're having them. We do them about quarterly. But you know, Ryan's I don't buy all your stuff. But I don't even buy a quarter of your stuff, I'd say, right? Because other people get to it before me, or maybe it just doesn't fit my model. But these guys can find you and maybe get on your list and buy stuff from you. And I encourage it because I love working with these guys. They have a great model. They get amazing reviews from their sellers too.
That's our big thing.
Yeah, you know, you guys are real stand-up people on both ends of the transaction, buyer and seller side.
Well, it's nice too, because we kind of have the two-headed snake. You know, our kind of mentality and our motto that we like feel really separates us from other wholesalers is we really do put our sellers first. We want to make sure the seller experience is one of a kind. Yeah, right? Uh-oh. He's going to shame me. And then
He's going to Uber back, just so you guys understand.
Yeah, right.
We always play safe. Hopefully you are too.
Mm-hmm. And then on the other side is, you know, from the investor standpoint, really making sure that the things make sense.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's from an investor standpoint, working with a wholesaler, there's nothing worse than that.
Yeah.
Someone that doesn't understand actually how to truly underwrite it. And it's just like, oh, I've got it here. I'm going to mark it up to here. It's a great deal.
I'm going to see how much I can get, and I don't care if it screws over the person, they get a bad deal, all that kind of stuff.
You know, there's some of them, because I know that I like to call them, and no offense to them, because we all start somewhere, but the seminar wholesalers.
Yep.
You know, we'll look at some deals where it's like, hey, this is going to be a great route for us. But we'll also look at, after we underwrite it, on the back net of what the back investor is going to make. And we will pull back and be like, you know what, like, we're just going to make sure this investor gets a great deal, because there's no way that we're going to make a huge rip and then it's like we're going to make the same thing you did after you took all the risk and you took it down and you flipped it and you held on to it. So knowing your place in the food chain is super important.
Yeah, and for me, if anyone that knows me for a while knows that I don't care what my wholesalers make. If you make $100,000 on a deal and I make 25, I applaud you and say, amazing, great job. Put it towards your marketing and find me more deals, because I know what goes into you guys looking at these deals.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you guys are doing mailers for most of your stuff, that's a lot of mailers that goes out, and that's in-house, and that's expense, and it's it is a machine, and I know that you was it last fall when your printing went down for like 3 weeks and you guys like just got destroyed for a couple months?
Well, the good news of that is we learned that we need to have multiple arms, and that'll never happen ever again. Yeah. Right? But yeah, you know, we're heavy on mail. Mail works. You know, I think that's the big thing with anyone that's just starting out wholesaling and marketing wise. Like, every single marketing avenue that you're going to do works. Yeah. The only one one you should stick to one. That
you're going to do. So I don't do a lot of mailers because I buy from wholesalers, which I love wholesalers, but I also do my own lead generation. And a lot of our stuff is very systematic, small batch mailings, pay-per-click, door knocking, door hangers, all that kind of stuff. So, but it's also another model that works. But like you said, if you stick to it and you focus on something, there's proven models. You just have to stick to it and be consistent with it.
Just commit.
Yeah.
Yeah, mail is one of the hardest ones to commit to, because there is a lot of lead-up time of mailing and mailing and mailing before you get results. And I don't know if that's the smartest way to start off, but I mean, there's so many different avenues. It takes a bankroll. I mean, there's so many different avenues. I mean, especially now with social media. Yeah. I mean, social media is that should just be the end-all be-all. That should be where you start your ads. You can go cheap, and then you can kind of do the geo targets, which might be changing. I don't know if you saw that discrimination deal, but it's
you can't not zip codes anymore like this.
Yeah. But you know, I would social media. It's great if you can pinpoint who you're trying to market to. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, and honestly, it works. And there's all different ways to do it, and there's always algorithms are changing on search engines and search providers, and It's a never-ending adjustment cycle. Just like mailers too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you always have to learn and tweak, which you guys actually do a really good job of it. How's that bourbon treating you?
That's great. It is great.
It's one of those that, so the first is like a bit of a punch in the face, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it
Goes
warms,
smooth.
and once it's on the palate, it really.
I am taking myself. I'm pacing myself
I don't know, he's
on
got a
this
long
one
night.
because I did. Well, it's not a long night. I flew in this morning, went straight to the office. All that I've had today was some cold brew coffee, and so I don't want to make a mess of myself.
If you
on
want,
the show.
I can go get a lobster for the break room. We have lobsters in our break room today, which
I know. I was really impressed by that.
Yeah.
That's a nice touch.
Okay.
Friday
Yeah.
lobsters. Every
like-
Friday they do it.
we're like, Ryan's coming in. Let's get some 3-pound lobsters and cook them up. It's it's what we do. Makes the whole office smell a little like lobster, but whatever.
When I first walked in, I was kind of like, "Ooh, yeah, it smells a little bit funny." And then it made sense once I walked in the break room. I was like,
Oh, you're making lobster. Well, like, of course. That's what I expected when I walked into a real estate office. And hey, guys, please ask questions, participate, and if you are having a drink, show us or give us a little idea of what you're having. And again, if this is a recording that you're watching, you were late to the party, but the party is still here. And wherever this is posted, we will be answering questions, or you can always find me on Facebook. Ryan, what's your preferred connection?
Shoot me an email. Ryan@theinvestorhub.com.
RYAN
RYAN
at theinvestorhub.com.
theinvestorhub.com. If you have any questions or you don't want to ask them now, feel free to always just email me. If you want to get on the list or kind of figure out the process of getting on the list, the easiest way to do it is shoot me an email. I'll reach out, kind of figure out what you're looking for, see if you have anything in back inventory, and then you'll be on the list, and then it's going to deliver to your inbox, and first come, first serve.
Yep, and it really is. Even though I bought however many it is, you don't have to say it on it still really is a first come, first serve. And if somebody says, "Hey, I'll take it," you guys don't go back and say, "Oh, well, so said they'll take it. How about you give me this price now," and you take it. And there's no gamesmanship. You guys know that you're in it for the long run, and I love that.
We're for the long run. I mean, we want to have a core group of investors that we can just move stuff to and just be almost their acquisition arm. Is kind of that we look at it as being part of the team. Anything you ever get from us, we're directly under contract with the seller. There's no daisy chaining. There's no marking them up.
And you guys are looking specifically to sell to the end buyer. Mm-hmm. So if you guys are wholesalers, learn from them, but don't try to daisy chain his ship because it's not going to work.
Yeah, you won't be able to do it. And I'll be honest with you, I'm completely cool with it. Call me and tell me. There's nothing more infuriating than going back and forth with someone and they want to negotiate on price and they want to do this. Then you waste all this time and you go back and forth, only to find out that you spent the last 20 minutes trying to negotiate what they're going to make on the deal. I'll cancel the deal right then and there and just say, nope, we're not going to do it. Go to the next one. For it, yeah. So just be upfront in the beginning. Call me. I'm a wholesaler. I've got a buyer. All right, that's completely fine. That's how do we make money together?
Yeah. Matt's drinking some Absolute. It sounds like Absolute lime. Nice. Is that just straight Absolute with a lime in it, or is it like tonic water and lime, or?
So that's pretty aggressive. I like it.
I mean, if it's straight Absolute with like drop of lime in there. That's more hardcore.
Should they make it Absolute lime flavored?
I'm not big on the flavored stuff.
Yeah.
Raphael is asking, when pursuing direct to seller, what are your strategies for having a great follow-up process? So I think, Raph, what you're asking is, you got the seller, you're talking to them. How do you make sure that you keep them in the loop? If you don't sign the contract right away,
no.
How do you follow up with them and make them and finally convince them to sign on the dotted line?
I mean, I think it's just being honest with them. A lot of the times what we'll do is we don't lowball our sellers. Like, we don't go in there and we don't come in with some ridiculous offer that's super low and try to work them down and work.
I give you $80 for that $300,000 house.
I mean, our offers are extremely fair. We really try to make sure that it's a fair deal to the seller. And what happens a lot of the times for us, we're pretty lucky, is they'll come back around and they'll realize, oh, wow, what you said was correct. But it is a follow-up process. It's a follow-up game. It's talking. It's being transparent, letting them know that you're there. I mean, for our follow-up guys and our acquisition guys, I mean, they're
what's the process? It's not just phone calls for you guys. They respond to a letter.
There's
kind of
a
what's
letter.
your rule of thumb?
Yeah. Once it comes in, it goes to our investment strategist. The
investment strategist.
Investment strategist. So his role is to kind of talk to them, set a realistic expectation, set a ballpark figure of we can probably come within this range.
Is that somebody in the office?
In the office.
So that's still in the office. Nobody's been to the house.
No one's been to the house yet. Kind of review, the condition, verify it all on tax records, and then after that, it goes to the acquisition manager. Once the seller's been like, you know what, that ballpark kind of works for me. Like I'm open to coming and checking it out. And now that ballpark number that we have is something from a complete lipstick cosmetic renovation all the way up to full floor plan. So we have all of our bases covered. And all right, this we're in the same ballpark. They come out, they review the house. Our acquisition manager walk through it.
At that stage, what's your favorite line for when you're just getting that ballpark range with the seller? Do you have like a favorite line to get in the door?
I'll be honest with you, like I'm on the back end.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's when you're supposed to ask me, hey Luke, do you have one?
Yeah, right. Do you have one?
Oh, funny you should ask. I usually just tell people, hey, I don't want to waste your time or mine.
That's a great one.
Because both are equally important, and that's because you guys are not high pressure. I'm not a high pressure guy either. Everyone has their own different sales pitch, and I think you guys overall are very similar to what we do here. And it's, hey, we don't need to buy your house, but if you need to sell your house, we can definitely buy it.
What's funny is I don't know if you guys have read the book, but you can't teach a kid to ride a bike at a seminar. It's David Sandler, and that's a Sandler. He has a sales summary that you kind of work through each level of it.
I've heard that. Yeah.
And that's one of them is the upfront contract.
Yeah.
Make it completely okay for them to say no.
Yeah.
If you make it okay for them to say no, it takes the pressure off and it takes the pressure off of you. And it's like, you know what, we're going to have a conversation. We're either going to leave this house, I'm going to be buying your house, or I'm not going to be buying it. Either way, we'll have a handshake and we'll be moving on. And I feel like that really lets people kind of drop that wall.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's, when you say, hey, there's no obligation here. It's just a conversation. So I need to know what you want for the house, and I can tell you what we can pay for the house. And if we can come to an arrangement, great. If not, maybe I can find another solution for you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one reason why we started our brokerage and our construction company is it's just more solutions for our potential sellers. Matt's asking, do you recommend any wholesalers in the Vegas area? I recommend Ryan. So Ryan gets a bunch of deals, and they're good deals. And like I said, I bought one from him yesterday. We closed, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm closing on one on Monday and Tuesday, I think.
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got a lot going on. I think I'm selling a couple houses today, and I'm selling another one on Monday, and buying two other ones besides yours next week. Yeah, we stay busy. But Matt, it really is a relationship business. So if you're looking to get deals from wholesalers, you just got to keep meeting them, get on their list, talk to them, let them know what you're looking for, what you can help them with, if you have something to offer, and then just be really upfront and honest. I've got wholesalers that send me deals, and I don't respond to them because, well, I don't play games or it's just not a good deal. But I've got a lot of wholesalers here in Las Vegas because we are based in Vegas for our out of town people. I've got a lot of wholesalers that they send over an address and pictures, and I just shoot them out a price. Some of them I've never done a deal with. Other ones I've done 30 plus deals with. I'm going to leave that in limbo until the last minute, right? But it really is a relationship-based business, Matt. I think last year for 2018, I think it was 9 wholesalers that I actually helped them get their first deal here in Vegas. And I think those wholesale fees that they actually made were anywhere from, I think one guy only was able to squeak out like $1,500, and the top out of those guys was $27,000. But we regularly pay $10,000 and $20,000 wholesale fees for deals that we pick up. So, because the numbers still work for me. Again, I don't care what the wholesaler makes. So hopefully the wholesaler is making money, because if they found one deal, they can find more deals.
Mm-hmm. And then also, I believe it was Matt, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Matt. It is the lime flavor.
It is.
Matt, we gotta hang out. We'll be buddies. Also, to Matt, shoot me an email, Ryan at the Investor Hub. I'd love to chat with you and see how I can source you some deals.
I'm responding to Jonathan here. He's having trouble with his audio.
I'm gonna read some other questions. So we got another one here. What's the best cold calling systems? I'll be honest, we don't cold call. We've looked at it. We've played with it. I mean, in past I have. I think it's dialing in the script, A/B testing it, going back and forth, making sure that you get enough data on each script before you give up on it and move to another one is super important, and keep all of your variables the same.
Yeah, and you can go online and you can go into different groups. You might have paid for education, and everyone's going to have this script. But if that script is not in your voice, it's not going to work. You have to change it and adjust it. But to do that, you've got to go through 100, 200, 300 calls to really find out what questions you can present the right way, and how your voice brings out the right answers from people. That's something that I learned when I was first starting out in this business, like really okay, I'm making this into a business, I'm going after it. The way I really learned was, if there was a FISBO, I called on it. And I went out on appointments, and I was like, okay, I'm just going out. I know the guy's like 50,000 high, and I'm going to be 125 below that number or whatever it was. But I'm going out there, I'm making my offer, because I need to cut my chops and really put in the legwork and understand how to get this interaction dialed in. And you don't learn that from reading a book, although the Flipping Blueprint's a pretty good book. But experience really is key. There's a lot of people that try to get into this game, and they think, oh, okay, I'm not going to make any phone calls. I'm going to open up a call center out of the Philippines or the Caribbean or Mexico, and I'm going to start doing RVMs, ringless voicemails. I'm going to drop 10,000 a day. I'm going to do all this kind of stuff. But then when it really comes down to appointments, you've got no idea how to do it, if you even can get an appointment, because your callers, if you're using a call center, haven't been trained correctly, because you have to train them. So you take somebody else's script from the beginning and turn it into your own.
So I've got 2 nuggets on cold calling. My first nugget, I call it the double dial. Call, let it ring 2 times, hang up, and then call again. I'm telling you, if there's something about the person grabbing the phone, seeing it, then it's a hang up, then all of a sudden, before they can put it back into their pocket, it's ringing again, they'll pick up. The other one is, when you start off the phone call, introduce yourself. My name's Ryan, I'm with the Investor Hub. Do you mind if I take 30 seconds of your time and explain why I called? I feel like that completely neutralizes them and puts them on a really good trajectory.
Topper. I like that. So the double call.
The double dial.
Double dial. I think that I'm gonna try that. So I do a lot of our acquisitions. I also have an acquisitions manager. So I'm gonna who you actually met today. I'm gonna give that little tidbit, and because we do cold calling in our office too. I like that.
It's interesting too, because also too when they answer, because I was kind of nervous to try it at first, where I was like, oh yeah, you're that guy that's like calling, and then like, what do you want? It's super easy. Sorry, my cell phone dropped the call, and then it's completely just smooth sailing from there on out.
I like it. So that was the one nugget. You said 2 nuggets.
So the other one is neutralizing on the front end, right? So when you call them, you can't just jump right into the, hey, do you want to sell your house? That never works. Everyone's going to give you the quick impulse no. So by stopping and saying, hey, my name's Ryan, I'm with the Investor Hub. Do you mind if I take 30 seconds and explain why I called? And now you have a 30-second period to identify pain darts. Don't go into, I want to buy your home for cash. Go into the idea of, I work with sellers that might have, come on a situation. It depends on the list you're calling, right? If you're calling pre-foreclosures, I work with sellers.
Definitely know who you're calling. That's key. Every different list has a different script to go to it. So it's what we were talking about scripts earlier. You can't use the same thing for different groups.
So I mean, emotion compels action. So you want to look at it, not I want to buy your house, like look at it as from a standpoint of, I work with homeowners that may have had some life instances that popped up that they've gotten behind on their mortgage. You want to identify with them as much as possible and be able to connect, and then also trigger that emotion. And then once you trigger that emotion, you've got them. Once they are emotionally kind of connected, they've got to that place. What I usually do on a cold call will be, I'll shoot, as I call them, 3 pain darts. And they're broad, but you can kind of get a feeling for which one is hitting. And now you go down that road. And as you go down that road, it's called it's also the sandwich system again, is the pain funnel.
Yep.
Go through the pain funnel and then really kind of dive in deep on that pain, why it's a pain, what's happening with the pain, and then come out with a solution.
Just for everyone. So again, say the I don't want to say sales guru technique, but what's his name again?
David Sandler.
David Sandler. And if you heard some of the stuff before, the pain funnel and or the trigger points or whatever words there are, there's a lot of different people with a lot of different systems out there, but there's some that are really good. And again, it comes down to you and how you use that information, no matter where you're learning it from, and gearing it towards you and how you present things. If you come off, if you ask these 3 questions and you're, for lack of better words, you sound like a dick when you're asking them, it's not going to work. Right?
Right.
You actually have to genuinely care. If you genuinely care and you're trying to find these trigger points from somebody, then they will respond to you. But if you are hey, I'm here to buy your house, I'm here to solve all your problems, here's an offer for you, let's do it, sign on the line, let's be done, boom. That's a whole different person. So you have a whole different script for that. And everyone's different, and that works for some people, but some people it doesn't. So just because you see somebody that's very successful, find somebody that resonates with you.
Mm-hmm. And ask questions. I can't tell you how many people that do the cold calling, you should be talking 20% of the time. 80% of the time should be the other person talking. Once you get through this little 30-second introduction and you have them going, it should be quick questions that they're answering, and then you're just trying to build rapport off what they're saying.
Yep.
I feel like people talk way too much on cold calls sometimes.
Oh yeah,
it's a detriment.
You have to listen. Listen is key for any sales. Listening is the number one thing. If you're not listening, you're you're not selling. Okay, guys. Matt's asking, what CRM are you using? So what do you guys use?
We use it's a custom build-out system, QuickBase.
Okay. So in my office, we still use Podio with a few special tweaks for the way we do things. But Podio is really our basis. We also have OnCarrot that feeds into our Podio. But I would say that there are 6, maybe 7 legitimate, easy, friendly CRMs out there for wholesaling, for flipping, that can kind of do what you need. And again, it's all geared to the person and what you like, depending on how tech savvy you are. I try to stay out of the tech portion of our business, to be honest, because I'd rather be on the sales side and then really kind of making things happen on that.
The best CRM is the one you use.
That's actually a great answer. But that's kind of a blow-off answer. Don't be but yeah, you definitely have to use it. And when you get one, and don't just keep chasing the next one and the next one because somebody else, they're successful, they're using that, I should go use that one. Use what you have, because you're going to invest a lot of time and energy into creating yours and making yours right. Or you might pay somebody to build out your system. Use it and get it functional. But there's a lot of them out there that do pretty well. And it really does also depend on what your lead sourcing is too. Let's see. Jonathan, like I heard that reverse engineering, the beginning process and making your buyers list first is a good way to start. What would be your thought about that? My thought is yes.
Honestly, there's other deals. Like I said, I'm a wholesaler. If you're a wholesaler, come to me. Hey, I've got a buyer. Deals are easy to find. Buyers. And I'll drop a little nugget. Another one.
Ooh, nuggets.
Probably every other wholesaler is going to hate me for saying this one, but a great way to kind of track and build your buyers list is go through, see the emails that come out.
Wait, hang on. Let me start off with exactly what you need to do. You need to get on everybody else's list first, so that then their properties come to you, and then you track all of theirs.
Track them, go back into tax records and see the entities that are taking them down.
This is something that we do in our office.
And then skip trace those entities. I mean, it's the
That's your
easiest
buyer list
way.
right there.
I can tell you right now, like if you call them and say, hey, I have deals, what's your email address? I can promise you that they're not going to be offended. They're not going to be mad. They're going to go, yes, what do you have right now?
Yeah. Yeah. So you find out who's buying the other deals and you go to them. You can get that through recorder's office, title officers, all kinds of different ways to do it, depending on what state you're in and disclosure records. But you find out who's buying stuff. And actually we do that because, again, we buy stuff or we get leads, and maybe it's not something that fits my model. It might be something that's better for a portfolio buyer, a rental buyer. And I'm looking at some of the stuff that maybe Ryan put out there or some of the other wholesalers. Excuse me. And I'm like, man, they're asking $240 for that. I wouldn't even pay $200 for that. And then I see that it sells. I'm like, I want to know who bought that shit.
100%.
So yeah, that's a great way to do it, because there are going to be deals that, like, if you're using a formula like 70% minus repairs and all that kind of stuff, there's people that are buying at 85 and 90%. So don't lose deals, because if you have a willing seller, if you have a good buyer base of different levels of different types of buyers, you can usually move deals.
Well, what's funny too is, I mean, I'll have some people, we'll send out some deals, and I'll have people that shoot me an email. It always cracks me up too. They'll send me an email and be like, this isn't even close to a deal. What is this? But you never know who's going to be on your list and who you're going to send out things to. You know, it's very easy that we can send something out that is 85 cents on the dollar that Luke might go, there's no way I can touch that. But we have someone that has completely cash. He has no debt service payments. Now the deal completely makes sense for him. Or someone that owns a construction company. You just never know. I mean, putting them out there, there's nothing wrong that can come from it.
Sorry, I'm typing here. I believe that everyone was entering with mute on. So, and again, hey guys, thank you for joining us, everyone that's here today. And if you're watching on replay, thanks for watching. Ask questions, partake. This is sips and flips. So if you're having a tasty beverage, let us know what you're enjoying with us. And we are. Do
we only have one person out there drinking with us? And that was the absolute line.
Maria, I talked to you earlier. You're supposed to be drinking with us. You're going to be having some wine.
I would say the absolute line counts as two, though. That's commitment.
Who was that? It was Jonathan, I think, that was drinking the absolute. Let me scroll back up here. That Jonathan, or no, it was Matt. Matt, you might have to be a guest on the show, and we'll try that absolute lime for everybody. All right, so we're going to keep going through some of these questions. Marie, a rookie question: what kind of advice do you have when writing up a contract when you are preparing to wholesale? Are the contracts the same as a real estate agent would use? I know a lot of wholesalers that use their local real estate contracts. Now, a lot of times you're going to want to read through that, really understand it, because there's going to be sections of that you want to cross out, redact from it. Now, I've probably bought, I don't know, 250, 300 deals from wholesalers over the years, and I have seen some of the shittiest contracts out there. Like, not even one page, like a half page, written on a napkin with coffee and blood stained on it, and like with 1.5 signatures.
Yeah, right.
But what it comes down to is somebody wants to sell their house and I want to buy it, so we make it work. So contracts are out there. You can use your local brokerage contracts. You can use, whether you're a realtor or not, you can actually use those. You just redact and use the information and cross out what you need to use. No matter what contract you're using, just make sure you understand it. Because if you're at the table trying to get a seller to sign, you better be able to answer their questions.
Yeah, from the seller side, and honestly, more importantly, from the investor side.
Yeah, your contract. How many pages is your guys' contract? 5? 4?
I think it's 4.
4.
4 or 5.
Yeah, and mine is 4, I believe, is what we're down to. It's like 3.5 in signatures for ours, but it covers enough.
Right. If you plan on signing that contract, the seller, yes, you need to go over it, but an investor, you need to know it in and out, because the investor probably knows more than you do. Like, let's just be honest. And even if they don't, every investor thinks they know more than you as a wholesaler in the beginning.
I do.
But they're going to ask you. They're going to get that purchase contract, and they're going to have questions. And if you aren't confident, and you don't know it, it raises a red flag. You're kind of like, ooh.
Let's run through a typical wholesale deal between you and I.
Okay.
So you just like key point it.
I was gonna say, Luke, you want to buy the deal?
Well, so you go to the house, you get a contract. But
Okay.
Let's start from the really beginning.
We're gonna start from the beginning. So the call comes in, goes to our investment strategist. They give the ballpark figure. Then they go out. Acquisition manager now goes out. They meet with the homeowner. They get the contract signed. Once the contract's signed, now it actually gets to my world. Once it gets to my world, I underwrite it. I find the comps. I put together what I think is the best play on the property.
For people who are like names for things, you're more of the dispositions manager.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So put together the plan of attack. Look at it and say, you know what? Hey, the price that we picked this up at, I think that you could, as I like to call it, the open door renovation. You can paint this thing and put in new carpet, and then you can just relist it. Do you want to go a full floor plan renovation? What is the way that you're going to make the most bang for your buck?
So you're figuring out how you're going to present it to your buyers.
Exactly. How I'm gonna pitch it to the investors, more or less. Once we have that, it goes through a pro forma system that we have within our CRM. On that, it's going to look at what we think the after repair value is, what we're going to wholesale it at, construction budget, which we do a price per square foot kind of breakdown depending on the price point. Then we do front end closing costs, your back end closing costs once you want to sell it. We factor in what we think how long it's going to take, like say a 3-month turn.
So basically what they're doing is they're figuring out is this a deal for an investor?
Go with our turn time, say it's 3 months, and then we factor in 12% debt service, so like a 12% hard money loan. At the end of all that, it needs to spit out at 10% or higher ROI.
Yep.
If it doesn't, then we send it back and say, hey, you guys go rewrite this and figure out.
Try to negotiate a better deal for property.
And now
so it passes the muster. Then
it passes. It goes out to our list, and then once it goes out to our list, we're super transparent to our investors.
So I get an email, and it comes over, and basically I'm looking at an email, and it has the address, a link to pictures, a brief write-up, maybe 3 or 4 lines about the house condition, if there's any holdback or the seller post-occupancy. And then it's got some numbers on it, maybe what they think the ARV is and what their comps are. And me as a buyer, all I'm really looking at is the pictures, the price, and the address, because I'm going to say I don't trust their numbers. Because you can't trust somebody else to do your numbers.
No, yeah, you can.
So just because somebody else says it's a deal doesn't mean it's a deal. So I quickly will run my comps as fast as possible, because these guys are first come, first serve. And I'll run my comps and say, okay, this is a deal. I'm texting you immediately, sometimes within minutes of that deal being emailed out, and saying, Ryan, I'll take it.
And now once it says I'll take it, we are the verbal commitment to us is huge. So once it's I'll take it, we're moving forward with you. That's it. There is no highest and best. There is no, hey, I'll pay you more. We let everyone know it's done. If you do not actually fulfill that and deposit the earnest money when you need to deposit, you're off the list. We have a zero tolerance for it. You say, yes, I want it. We're moving forward. If not, then thank you so much for your time. Bye. And we've got enough investors.
I've actually had you guys come back where I've said, I'll take it. And you're like, oh, sorry, it's already gone. And then the next day somebody didn't perform and they're like, hey, Luke, you still want this one? And I'd be like, yeah, but 10 grand lower is not.
And then we say no.
No, if I said I would take it, I'm taking it, right?
Yeah, that's the big thing for us is we're going to be super transparent. People that are actually buying flips. I know Phoenix is a bigger deal. Double escrows. Does that happen out here in Vegas as well?
No, we do a lot more assignments. Double escrows suck. They take more money, but some places you can't assign. Texas also, if you guys are still considering.
Phoenix, the double escrows are a big deal. And basically what that is a wholesaler hiding his fee.
But you don't have to do it.
But that's our thing. We'll never double close you. Like you're going to get, when you say I want it, you're going to get an assignment agreement. It's going to have our fees.
Okay, so let's continue.
Okay, yeah.
So I say I'll take it.
You say you'll take it.
And with you guys, you don't just use the, okay, give us the name, the LLC, all that kind of stuff. You don't already know ours. You send over an email, and your email, because you already know how it should be done, is the assignment agreement and the purchase agreement too. Because if you're assigning something, you're assigning those rights. So me as an investor, I want to know what I'm agreeing to.
That's the biggest pet peeve. I feel like people do, here's the assignment agreement. And like
you're
just signing something. Like it could say that, hey, you know what? You're going to pay way more than you think that you're paying. So yeah, the 2 documents come over, review both of them, sign that, and then we have a strict policy on our earnest money. It's either 12 or 5 p.m. depending on where we're at during the day.
Yep.
Cashier's check, or wire to title. And if you don't hit that time frame, then it's null and void. It doesn't matter if you signed our assignment or not. We're moving forward with the next person.
Yeah. All right, so we got a few more questions here. Average turnaround time from the time you get the contract signed and the time from acquisition to presenting to an investor. So it's funny that you asked this, Maria. I actually just looked at you guys on the last couple ones. I was like, how quick are they turning these? Within 24 hours, these guys are signing the contract with the seller, and it's being presented to their investors. I love it. It's boom, it's quick, it's done. That gives the investor more time to react and close and be reasonable. Mm-hmm. I get people that like, hey, here's this deal if you want it. It's closing. It has to close tomorrow. Well, hang on. Something sounds fishy or messed up here. It's like, who dropped the ball?
Exactly. For us, it's all, the quick turn is everything. We want to get it in and out as fast as possible because you want to market that contract. Because technically we don't sell properties, right?
Yeah.
We're selling contracts. We're selling contractual interest. You want to have the most amount of time to market that contract. So it makes no sense for you to kind of hold on to it, kind of play with it and do it. Yeah. Get it out, go.
Yeah.
See what your feedback is, and then adjust.
It is a business, people. You have to understand that. It is boom, boom, boom. Every time you delay, it delays another part of that process. Mm-hmm. So the quicker you get it done, the quicker you're going to get money. Mm-hmm. And the more likely that you're going to get money. All right, so we've got a few more questions here. Matt, could you break down how you run your comps? Do you use something like iComps or Prevy or run your own? Matt, I'm pretty sure you've read the Flipping Blueprint, so you know how I do mine. And I know, Ryan, you guys actually have access to all the MLSs, and you guys run pretty similar model where you're really looking for apple-to-apple comparison on properties. Recent sales are a real focus for you guys. You're selling mostly to flippers, so you're looking and giving most weight to remodeled houses. And because when you guys send out your properties, it even says on there, oh, this was a homeowner remodel, this was a professional remodel. So that's really the way it goes down, Matt, is that you just look for the most similar properties and the most recent properties, and that's how you determine your value.
Yeah, even taking it, we'll go 6 months back. Yep. We'll try to stay. If we can go, like, I'm a little different. I go rifle and then expand out shotgun. Mm-hmm. If I can find something within the same exact subdivision, that's the same exact model, that's absolutely renovated, that's the best comp. That's going to be the best comp you can find. So I'll start there and then slowly start branching out if I have to. I go plus or minus 300 on the square footage. About five years plus or minus on the year built. It is the like for like. If you've got a 1-story, you need to do 1 stories. If you've got a 2-story, you need to be 2 stories. Yeah. Diving into it, looking at the condition of the homes is a big thing. And, we do put that of investor remodel, homeowner remodel, because the price is going to be different. If you have no investor remodels, but you have a bunch of homeowner remodels that are somewhat nice, that you can hang your hat on. It's going to be a little bit higher, and here's the value.
And you guys also track the markets too. And if it's a stronger time in the market or a softer time in the market, so like, hey, everything sold at 350. I'm not going to say 370 because it's not going to happen. We're realistic about it.
Mm-hmm. Summer was fun.
Yeah,
everything's selling for 250. 260. Yeah. Done deal.
Yeah, market's going up. You're more likely. And you guys even say in your presentations, hey, you're going to get it at the perfect buying season, peak of the spring, summer buying season, and it's great and it's accurate. Mm-hmm. And that's for me, I completely disregard everything they write and just do my own data. But overall, I think you guys are pretty accurate.
Well, I'm not going to beat myself up over some of the typos and the comments that I'm missing now because we're good with it. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing is knowing what's going on. I mean, right now, those summer comps are finally phasing themselves out.
Yep.
I mean, those are rough there for a little bit. I mean, if you're a wholesaler towards the end of the year and the beginning of the year,
So many people bought wrong for about a 4-month period.
it was rough because I mean we're right in the middle. So
and you're dealing with the sellers too. So the sellers think that, oh, that house sold at 350, so mine must be 350. Hang on, the market's pretty soft right now. So even though it was 350 3 months ago, it's actually 320.
Well, you have the investors that are super savvy that are researching it like crazy. They know exactly what's going on. I mean, to a day-to-day basis of how much inventory is available. So they know what's happening. The standard homeowner is trusting the media, which is
3 to 6 months behind.
exactly right. So they're hearing, oh, it's a great market. So every single homeowner thinks that their home is worth gold, and the Raiders are coming to town. That's my favorite. The Raiders are coming to town. My house is worth $20,000.
Oh, we've got some guy that's right now saying Boulder Station is going to buy out this entire lot and blow out and build, and my $50,000 manufactured home is going to be worth $200,000, and they're going to buy it out.
Yeah. So
And my family's going to give me money to pay off my back taxes.
So you got the homeowners being like, hey, my home is worth way more than it is. And you got the investors saying, I'm going to pay less than I normally would just because I know what's happening and how the inventory is building up. And as a wholesaler, you're right in the middle trying to like work out the two of them. And it was rough. At the end of the year here was funny. There was a lot of variables going into it.
Well, you saw us.
Crazy.
We slowed down our buying, right?
Well, it's funny too because it's end of the year. You're always everything's going to slow down. And that's just what happens. But going into this end of the year, we had the house changing. We had government shutdowns. The stock market was super volatile. I mean, it was up and down, up and down, up and down. I feel like there's so many variables that everyone's kind of like, oh, let's just see how everything settles. So it's
Cassie, yes, waiting machine. Cassie, yes, waiting.
Somehow we got somebody with the audio on there. I don't know how that happened. Maybe Jonathan.
So yeah, it was really hard to kind of see when it was going to go. I mean,
but now we're back into spring and summer now,
phenomenal.
and this is very market driven. Sorry, Jonathan, no problem. It's very market driven, so you need to know your numbers. Where even Phoenix to Vegas, very different numbers. There's more inventory in Phoenix right now, but there's a larger base and more micro economies within the entire. And I say Phoenix, but it's Phoenix, Scottsdale, Sun City.
It's all the same.
Chandler, and I mean it's like whatever 75 miles of valley.
Yeah,
basically.
Something I'm seeing in Vegas a lot.
Here's
the thing I'm saying in Vegas a lot. I feel like Phoenix is Vegas is Phoenix's little brother in a sense, as far as market goes. I feel like what Phoenix is maybe a year or so ahead, a couple years ahead.
So Phoenix, for you guys that don't know, Phoenix is about 3 times the size of Vegas.
3 times the size of it, and the crash hit us not as hard as Vegas, but really, really hard. And we were
slower recovery too.
Slow recovery. And what I'm starting to see is the open doors, the Zillow Instant Offers, the offer pads, all of them really hit Phoenix hard. The way that the investors really survived was going above and beyond on the renovations. Their finishes, the days of painting it and kind of just putting in some carpet in Vegas are over. You're going to get swallowed up by the bigger funds that can afford to pay way more money than you can on the front end.
That being said, I just did a $300 remodel and made about $40,000.
Ouch.
It really is case per case specific, but I know in Phoenix, where a lot of people thought they could do lipsticks, they really had to jump and do the full remodel because that's what the buyer base wanted. And in Vegas, to compete, there's like, you either do the clean out and really nothing. It's called wholetailing, basically, is what that model is. And we've been doing a lot more of that over the last 8 months or so, and it's really working out for us depending on the property. Or we go all the way with it. But that mid-level, just simple lipstick, when the inventory levels go up and the buyers have a lot more say in it, it just doesn't work. And a lot of people were buying for that, both in Phoenix and Vegas, like you're saying.
Totally.
And it just didn't work because it's like you're competing with a fully remodeled house that's $5,000 or $10,000 more. Nothing's going to sell every day before yours does.
Yeah, I think the designs, finishes, that's a big thing that Vegas focusing on for this year is really putting in that effort and dialing in what you want to do and what works. You know, the grays will always be there. The white shaker cabinets will be there. Quartz. It's easy. You're a brown guy for a long time.
We still are.
The first time I met him, we were sitting down and he was talking about, he's like, yeah, you know, we're still doing the St. Cecilia, the granite and the browns and the travertine. And I was like,
80 to 90% of my house is still our brown tan. We live in a desert. It matches. It matches the outside of the house and the inside of the house. It works. So when we've done grays and like the outside was a brown and the inside was gray, and you know, we've had a few different construction managers coming in and out, and as we've grown our construction business, and I'm like, the house is taking forever to sell, and I look at it, I'm like, go paint the outside, make it change so it actually works with the inside,
make it flow,
and boom, it sells. But you know, I'm happy to sell white shaker cabinets all day long to people, but honestly, our houses that do the best are brown tans.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but when we do them, we're still doing extra features. Undermount sinks. It's a nice granite. You know, we're consistent throughout. So we're replacing doorknobs and hinges to brush nickel, not leaving the old hinges on and just doing doorknob. It's like $200 extra for the house. Just do it.
Well, right now the little things, right? Like it's crazy. It's the things that are $200, but that's those little things could make or break your sale of your home.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, I completely. As inventory levels go up, you have to do more to the houses. 100%. Hey guys, we're into our. We're over an hour in here. We'll go for about another 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
So if you guys have some final questions, please ask. We've got drinks to finish up here. Hopefully you guys too. I know a few of you have chimed in on what you're drinking. Mike's. It's like a vodka day for you guys, where we're over here drinking bourbon. Which is fine.
We're slowing it up. They're speeding it up.
Yeah.
They're slowing it down. They're speeding it up.
Yeah, you know, happy hour starts whenever you're happy, man. I'm happy. I wake up happy, so I guess every day is a vodka day. Yeah, you know, it's easier to hide in your coffee cup in the morning.
Doesn't smell as bad.
I don't recommend it, but you know, get your work done, celebrate, have fun, and really, honestly, this is a lot about us having fun. Giving back to you guys and kind of forcing you all to have fun too. Let's just take a breath. Looks like water.
Right.
What's your best lead generator? For you guys, it's your mailers. Yeah. You know, for us, honestly, our digital presence, whether it's our pay-per-click or our social media presence, drives a lot of deals for us.
That's a good question. I like that one. What would you do as a new guy to start? I just cut you off on your whole lead gen thing, but
no,
I saw that and I was like, oh, I like that question.
You know, Matt, so it's fun. You know, I get that question a lot, and if I were to start, I would do exactly what's in my book. That's why I wrote it. It still works. I still do. I mean, 90% of that stuff in the book I still do. The other 10% I don't, because it's just my business has outgrown some of that different stuff that works on a smaller scale basis. But day in and day out, I just had another person send me a message the other day that they got their first flip done because of the book. It works. So
I
man,
gotta ask you, how cool is that feeling now?
I love it.
When you get that back, like that has to be the best
feeling. Did you see my post this morning? Somebody had sent me a message on Instagram saying, I've done a bunch of the free seminars. I went to so-and-so's 3-day seminar. I never like to say names of the other people out there. And then I read the flipping blueprint, and they said, this is their words, not mine, that Luke is a godsend. I'm not my godsend. But hey, I woke up to that this morning. That's a pretty cool feeling. But it's not just the compliment to me, but knowing that I'm able to affect people, and that what I put into the book is really able to help people get to that next level in their businesses, to not only help themselves but their families is pretty cool. So Matt, it still works. Everything that's in the book, it works. You know, just it really comes down to taking action. If you're not taking action, it's not going to work. So that's what I would say to a new guy, and I say it honestly. multiple times every week when people reach out to me, hey, have you read my book yet?
Yeah, I'd say read the book, number one. Number two, it really depends on like what avenue you want to go. If you want to go wholesaling, go find buyers. If you don't have a buyer and you sign a contract, you look like an idiot to the seller. So that was my whole thought with it. It was like, I don't ever want to be in a position where I don't have someone to say, hey, I'm going to do this contract to.
Yeah. So the question is, what do you find first, buyers or sellers? And the answer is yes.
Yeah.
You should be looking for both buyers and sellers immediately. So that's that. Yeah. If you're looking to start out in wholesaling, the same things apply that are in the book to wholesaling. You just end up signing the contract to somebody else. Mm-hmm. But you have to find buyers, and like we talked about earlier, look at who's buying everyone else's deals.
It's really not that hard. I feel like it's one of those like mental blocks where everyone's like, oh, I'm never going to find these investors. They're so hard to find. It's really not. It's really easy. Get your buyers and then know what they want. And the second that you see something that they want from a list or from a property that you find, or start looking for that property that they want, you know that you have an buyer and you're good to go.
Sorry, I'm getting text messages.
Ask the closing attorney I'm meeting with.
So what questions to ask a closing attorney? You guys don't use them in Arizona. We don't use them in Nevada. I've used them in different states. Basically, who asked the question? Jonathan. Jonathan, if you can type in what state are you in? But basically with closing attorney, you want to make sure that they're familiar with investors, they're familiar with assignments of contract or assignments of interest of contract, so that they understand that there's multiple parties involved in it, and that you, for a fee, are assigning your interest. Okay, Texas, yeah, they're going to be very familiar with it. I've got a few deals going in Texas right now. Corpus Christi. You know what? Jonathan, if you shoot me a message, I've got a couple guys that I know that are flipping houses in Corpus, and they might be able to recommend a attorney for you. Good guys. Blue Star is their investment company name. A couple of my students actually, and they took their business from 1 or 2 a year. I think they've got 9 active right now. It might be up to 11, and they're doing pretty well. But they probably have an attorney they can recommend to you that is investor and wholesaler friendly. But basically the questions are, have you done assignments, or have you done, because it's double closings in Texas, you can't do assignments. Are you familiar with that? And are you going to protect me as well? An attorney in Vegas to set up an LLC, you can set up an LLC yourself for a couple $100. It's pretty easy. This is from Matt. There's a lot of different ways to do it. You can just Google it. But make sure you're just not putting the cart before the horse. Like a lot of people do, they're told to do certain things. If you haven't done a deal yet, we really don't need the LLC or LLCs. You go to a lot of these seminars and they tell you to, oh, you need an LLC for this, and this to protect yourself. But if you don't have anything to protect, like, don't do that yet. There's a lot of different ways to do LLC. If you just search on it, Nevada is a great state to have your LLC in. There's Delaware and South Dakota.
Yeah, Delaware bothers me, man, because you can't skip trace it. You can't find out who they are.
Delaware is more for corporate, right? But Nevada is a great state to actually have your LLC placed. And it's really a simple process. It costs you just a couple $100 to get it done. You can go down to Office Max and pick up the paperwork and get it recorded. Go to the state website, and you'll be able to find the directions on how to do it. You can do it yourself, or you could pay an attorney to do it.
Yeah, just going to the desk at the Corporation Commission. They won't answer any of your questions,
right?
But
there's plenty of information online where you can do it yourself and save yourself $500 to $1,500.
Yeah.
All right, guys, final questions. What else do you have for us? Besides a tasty cheers to everybody that's been in and out today and watching us on replay. I know not everyone can drink at 3 o'clock this weekend.
I don't know if I can.
I'll talk to Steven and I'll write you a doctor's note.
Deal. In that case, port two.
Actually, I don't think Steven's going to have a problem.
No. Yeah, and if you guys have anything else you want to follow up with, or if you guys want to see our deals, like I said, Ryan, Ryan, at the Investor Hub. Shameless plug. You got to do it.
Let's see.
Do I use Facebook?
Facebook has not been great for ads. There's I know a few people nationwide that do it, not necessarily for buyers, but for sellers. It's got a very low return, and the variables on it, because Facebook is always changing their algorithms, makes it very difficult to stay up on. But you don't need to spend money to find buyers. 100% you don't need to find money for buyers.
And don't, legitimately, the majority of the people that are going to comment on your Facebook status of saying, hey, here's my email address.
Yeah.
They're not actually someone that's going to buy your deal from you. I mean, just from my experience, like every once in a while I'll post some stuff and just be like, hey, and to me that's kind of like a shot in the dark.
Yep. But
majority of the people that comment on it, hey, here's my email address, they're not end buyers.
No, and I just put a post about this in the Flipping Blueprint group, I think last week. The people that are posting in one group saying, oh, I'm a buyer in Las Vegas. And then they go to another group saying, hey, I'm looking for any deals in Las Vegas. And they're looking for email addresses for both because they're just trying to daisy chain stuff. And it doesn't work. Don't do that. Who's teaching that out there? If you know who's teaching that out there, send it to me because it's garbage. It doesn't work.
Use those groups for knowledge. There's a lot of good information that your group, for example, there's great nuggets in there that if you were just to go through it and just read it, I'm guilty of it.
Or just ask a question.
What's funny, I mean, you know what they say about real estate investors, right? Like they all have egos. So if you ask a question in that group, I promise you're gonna get 15 different responses and 15 different comments of someone telling you, hey, this is how I would do it.
And of those 15, 5 to 10 could be right.
Exactly. It's a numbers game.
You could call for rent ads for buyers.
I've done that before.
Yep. I've done that too. Yep. Hey, you have a rental over here. Are you looking to buy another one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's definitely rental buyers typically can buy at a higher price because they're in for the long haul versus the flippers. But you also might find a seller off of those too.
Well, that's the way I did it. Was I called, and if they're posting something of saying for rent, they're sitting on an asset just draining money, right? Like they're just bleeding money.
So if you go into the MLS where the rentals are posted and you see that it's been posted for over 90 days, contact that owner, send them a message, say, hey, I saw you had this property for rent. I'm interested in buying it. Can we talk?
Mm-hmm.
It's as simple as that. Just send them a letter.
Especially if the condition is not great.
Yeah.
If the condition's not great and it's been sitting for a while.
Yeah, because it's like they've gone 3 months plus without a renter. And typically if they've got 1 or 2 months prior to that without a renter, and then they put some money in to pretty it up a little bit. And so now they're out 10 grand at that point.
The cash offer sounds phenomenal.
Oh, I will consider that cash offer. Thank you. So that's actually the great way for
so it's a great way. Great way
we
to start.
actually still do that in our office where we contact long-term renters.
I did it on Craigslist, not the MLS, but Craigslist we had some success with as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't bought somebody asked me this the other day about a buddy of mine. He's like, so have you bought any houses off Craigslist lately? And I got to be honest, it's probably been about 1.5 years since I bought anything off of Craigslist as far as houses go. Other stuff.
A lot of stuff now, it's just been saturated by wholesalers. Where you see something and you're like, oh wow, like let's see this, and it's like, oh wow, you're just signing it, and not only are you signing it, you're like the third person down the chain that's signing it. It must come from a seminar.
Yeah. But you go to forsalebyowner.com, fizbo.com, and there's about 6 or 7 other similar sites that are for private sellers to put on, and Zillow and Redfin have theirs too. But you just contact the FSBOs, and whether it's forrentbyowner.com too. Rental owners are great sellers. They really are. They get tired of it. I contact property managers. We actually had a property manager contact us Wednesday saying, hey, we know where you're doing construction now. Can you bid out a project for us? And I said, yeah, we sure can. And by the way, if your owners don't want to do the rehab on it, we'll buy it for cash. That's something I've done for years is contacting property managers and saying, if you have any owners who are tired of all the headaches, we're happy to buy it. You get commission as a realtor.
So say you could represent me.
Yep.
Yeah.
So always make it a win-win scenario.
I don't know. It's been a while since I've done this, but I had good luck with the Zillow Make Me Moves. Someone that was like, they had enough motivation to throw out a number of say this to get a conversation started.
It's probably been at least 2 years, maybe even 3, since I had any luck with that.
It's probably been that.
Because over the last 2 years, Zillow has taken over those leads and really kind of changed the way that they handle them. Because now they've got their own agents from their own brokerages contacting those Make Me Move people. But Zillow, Vegas is ground zero for Zillow, and Phoenix is right thereafter. But we're still finding deals in these markets. They're out there. You just have to put in the work.
You need to know their criteria too, like what kind of renovations they're doing, what they're like.
If you own a house, go to Zillow, go to Open Door, go to OfferPad, and say, make me an offer. Learn their process, because I guarantee you that if they are in your market, that the sellers that you're going to be talking with are doing the exact same thing. So when you can understand that you don't have any hidden fees, no transaction fees, which most of them call it, a transaction fee of 6 to 15%. It's crazy.
And the renovation.
Yeah.
The cosmetic.
Yeah. So I'll give you $250,000 for this house. There's 7% in transaction fees. Plus, we need you to escrow the $18,000 for the rehab. So we'll give you the $250,000, but your net's going to be $208,000.
There was someone that asked about the sales process on the internal calls, and this just reminded me of it. Was if we are going against an OfferPad, Zillow, or Open Door, we flag it for a 2-week follow-up. We know for a fact that we can't compete with their initial offer. Like as a wholesaler, you just can't, but I can promise you that in 2 weeks, they're going to come back with their renovation budget and their fees, and your net offer is going to be better than what they are. So we have that as the flag to say, call them back and say, hey, how did we look now? If
you get a no and you're not following up, you're wasting money, because you have to follow up on those no's. We do it. Depending on the no, it could be a week from now. It could be 2, 3, 4 weeks from now.
How many touches do you do before you say, actually, you know what, let's put this lead to the boneyard, but you still follow up with?
We're a solid 6 to 8.
6 to 8?
Yeah. I mean, and it's just like the mailer game. Depending on what rules of thumb you follow for mailers, you're 6 to 8 times of mailing before you sunset that address, right? And we hold that true as well with door knocking, cold calling, mailer. We have a couple different mailers that we do. But really, if you're not touching them at least 8 times over the course of, it could be 8 months, you shouldn't give up on that lead just because you mail them once and they say no.
I love the boneyard. I call it the boneyard. For the people that don't know that, it's like after you've reached out to them maybe 10 or plus times, contacts, and it's no, and it just kind of goes there. You don't throw that lead away. Like that lead is money. And there's nothing more than I love than calling back a couple months later and talking to them. I mean, you need to verify it, right? Like check tax records, make sure they didn't sell. They still own that house to come back.
If they were interested in selling last year and you know your market's gone up, call them again and say, hey, you know what, the market's gone up. I might be able to offer you more than I did before. I'd love to talk to you again about your house.
Done deal. Especially if you have some rapport with them and like your meeting with them went well and all it was solely, I'm not going to sell my house for that. Oh, game over.
Oh. Well, guys, hopefully you enjoyed what we gave you here today. It is a 2-drink minimum, and we're getting down to the bottom of our seconds.
We got to finish them right now, right?
Or you're going to chug? I'm not going to chug.
We're going to chug. Come on now.
What is it, college? But we're way past that. Like at our events when people are doing shots, and I'm like, oh,
I can't do it.
Doing shots.
We'll be hurting for 2 days just after today.
I gotta say that this was a great group. I know we have people coming in and out. You guys all have lives. I know a lot of people are going to watch this on the replay. We really hope that you got some value from us. Hope you come on the next one. Jonathan, you're asking how often do we do these? Honestly, I do them whenever I have people in town. We're going to start doing a lot more of these. We do our live quarterly events in Vegas, which are very similar to this, Sips and Flips. I provide the booze. I provide the food.
I'm gonna cut you off here because it is the most fun. Like, I'm not kidding you. Like, I fly in from Scottsdale. I see it and I go, boom, that's the date. I'm coming to Vegas. We're gonna do because we have an office out here, so I'm gonna work out of the Vegas office. Like,
It's a work trip.
They're so much fun. Like, the people that you meet there too. There's so many great people that you can meet that are actually movers and shakers doing things.
We average about 70, 80 people at the events. We raise money for charities. There's no cost to it. It is just like this, where we're trying to bring people together and share information and really help you guys with your real estate investing careers. It's been great for me and for my business and for my employees and for my compatriots. We've seen a ton of success, and it's a way for us to give back to you, to our community. So that for the sips and flips, it's I might do 2 or 3 of these a week. I might do 1 every 3 months, depending on schedules of people coming in, and because I want to give value and have amazing people like Ryan coming in who also want to share that value with you. And I'm glad you guys have enjoyed today, and hopefully you had a drink or two and enjoyed it with us, because again, this is sips and flips. Because if you're not enjoying what you do, why do it? That's really what this comes down to. Being able to, I've had so many great conversations in bars. I've closed deals in bars, and I thought, hey, let me put something together where people can actually eavesdrop into those conversations and learn something like that normally they wouldn't be privy to, or they might have to pay $20,000 for a 3-day seminar for it. I hope that we've been able to add value. Ryan, I know you said amazing things today. I hope I've shared something with you guys as well that you found valuable.
And if you didn't get anything back from me value-wise, like seriously, like email me. Like if I didn't provide any value, or you're like, Ryan, you didn't do anything,
great stuff.
Email me. Let's chat more. I promise that I kind of know what I'm doing a little bit.
He does.
To help you out as much as possible.
Yeah, he does. Great guy, honest guy, and he honestly wants to find or help you guys with your success, and that's what I love. If you've noticed, the people that I'm having on the shows here, or that come out to our actual live events, just great people that really want to see other people succeed as well.
Yep.
So
collaboration's key.
And follow me on Facebook. I'm sure most of you do follow me on Facebook. That's where I post the events. That's where I post these. And we will be doing more of them. And again, you know what? This is to everyone that's been on the show and commented, or you're watching virtually in reruns. Cheers to you guys, and we'll see you on the next round. That's pretty good. It's really good.